Printonic is a brand new print-on-demand platform that allows you to sell none other than personalized gift sets all through print-on-demand without having to print, package, and ship anything on your own. And I was able to sit down with the founder and CEO, Rick Coleman, to get down to brass tacks on what Printonic is all about, how it came to be, how they're serving their customers, as well as some details about launching and some of their priorities for upcoming new features. I really hope that you enjoy it and it answers a few of the questions that you have about Printonic. So please enjoy. Man of the hour. Everybody has been asking for more information on you, the mysterious Printonic and CEO Rick. Please just tell us how you've gotten here, or how Printonic came about. The people are dying to know.
Sure. Yeah. So we actually started in 2018. We had a gift set company. So it's kind of full circle now back to Printonic. We had a really great success, of course, during the pandemic. Like a lot of other people, our shop was the top 13 globally on the entire platform. We killed it. And then we hit this road bump because we could not find candles to put in our gift sets. So at the time, I told my wife, I said, you know what? I was in tech and I was a principal data scientist for one of the world's largest medical devices manufacturing companies. And I said, I can probably make those candles if I can write algorithms for a living. So we started dabbling with candles to just keep ourselves stocked. And then people started reaching out to our other business saying, where do you get the candles from? So we're like, okay, well, we make them. So, I have this software engineer mindset, right? Like everything has to scale. Everything has to be, perfect all the time. And so we started scaling Lumient little by little. And then we got the print on demand opportunity with Printoic, I believe in 21 or 22. And that took us to a whole new level. It's been great partnering with them. And it kind of allowed us to just grow into this massive volume. And because of that, the same software engineer mindset, like I wanted everything to be automated. So most of our processes automated. There's a couple of like steps where people actually touch the product, but that's what allowed us to just be so good at making candles quick and fulfilling them quick. And then, we've always wanted to do the gift sets as a service. We pitched it to many print-on-demand companies. Nobody wanted to do it because it was technically very difficult. And it was also, from a tooling and operational point of view, it's a little difficult to do it because you have these different items and you have to present them in a certain way. And, there's so many different variations and prints. But we just last year, we decided, you know what, we're going to go for it. We're going to start building that platform ourselves. And we just launched it in the beginning of November in the early version. And it's, the response was great. And, it's going to continue to be a work in progress type of thing, but it's been a beautiful journey. So we're not new to gift sets. We're not new to candles, and we're not new to print on demand.
I love that. Yeah. I've been using Lumient since I started my print on demand business, at least 2 years now. Candles are great. I've talked about you on my channel before. So when I heard this was coming up, I was super excited, and it is a gap in the market that we have not seen with gift sets. So you knew that I was really excited about it. I think what's also really exciting about your product is your focus on quality and your focus on who you are wanting to kind of work with here. I think we, as print on demand sellers, there's always a little bit of concern on what's the quality going to be like when my customer actually gets it. I would love for you to just share a little bit about that too, on what you guys are anchoring on in importance on the quality and your partners that you're wanting to bring on board with Printonic.
Right. So quality wise, you don't get 350,000 Etsy sales from nothing, right? So you got to be doing something right. And we're actually pretty, our employees hate us for it. We're pretty punctual when it comes to the standards that we set, because we understand, especially with print on demand, every single order is going to a person from someone else, and they're trying to, create that best experience, unboxing experience, where someone opens it and they go, oh my gosh, this is so, lovely. We have, 130,000 5-star reviews. So that kind of just is a testimonial to why we care about quality and how that translated to the recipients of those gifts. And most of our customers actually, you buy a gift to someone, they get it, they love it so much, and they go, oh my gosh, I haven't seen my sister in Indiana for a couple of months, and I want to send her something, and it kind of just balloons into something much bigger. So with Printonic, it was not really a big challenge to maintain the same quality because we already have the tooling, but it's just matching this massive amount of variations and options of gift sets and translating that into an actual, basically there's like a little tablet or phone that every packer is carrying. They know exactly where to go pick the items. They send it to the printing department. They go print it. They get it back, retrieve it. They have a picture of exactly what this box should look like, where every single item should be placed, all of that detail. So there's really not much guessing. And before they push, ship, they have to take a picture for it. So somebody is looking and trying to compare. And we're hoping that, our techie side, our geeky side is like, we're going to build some machine vision algorithm, because that's what I used to do, to basically compare it automatically and say, like, how close did you get to the actual thing, But yeah, we're just utilizing technology to try and make it so seamless because, in the print on demand, our margins are very little. So you have to make the process extremely efficient for it to work and for customers to keep coming back. But we understand that we're not going to be for everybody. And our goal is not to be the next billion-dollar print-on-demand company. That's not the vision. The vision is to be able to allow those brands to really create a beautiful experience for their customers. And at some point, if we reach our capacity, we might open a wait list. We're not going to always be just trying to attract as much business. And then when the holiday season comes, we have so many more orders than we can handle. And then all of these sales translate to horrible experiences for the customers and the sellers. So, we're not funded by, venture capital and whatnot. So we're a private company. We're doing the right thing for our customers and trying to build it organically to grow in a way that gives us huge, reliability reputation. Like when you think about Printonic, you think about quality, speed, and reasonable prices. We're not going to be the cheapest in the market, but because we offer you so much more than what the other print-on-demand platforms offer you. And it's there's people who would look for that cheaper $2 from a different competitor, and that's okay. But if you want this premium experience, then that's what we're trying to offer.
Yeah. And I love that. And for all of the little guys out there like myself that are like wanting to do print on demand and wanting something different, thank you for having that mission. It's exciting to kind of hear that you're located here in the United States. You pack everything and you make everything in Southern California. So having that and have the focus be really on quality just opens up the doors for so many fun businesses to be built. And the focus on quality and branding is really, really exciting. I know that we just launched Printonic and you've been running around like a madman trying to make sure that you're listening to all the feedback. Obviously, this is going to be a work in progress. You're not a Printify. You don't have $1 billion of investment capital into it. I guess talk me through kind of the roadmap of what we have in the works for the next, what are priorities for the next couple of weeks? I know we talked a little bit about some mock-up pieces coming about, some additional products potentially. I guess what are priorities from your side?
Right. So the first thing is making sure that the customer experience in terms of building the product, publishing the product, getting orders, pushing the orders, all of that is 100% bug free. That's our first goal. And we're getting there in terms of everything else except the mockups. We're working with a couple of mockup companies, but I think we're leaning more towards we're going to have to build it ourselves too. Because it's a little unique too, where nobody else does mockups for gift sets where different items, the mugs have different curvature than a little, photo slate or a candle. So we're leaning towards building our own thing. And that's why I think, a lot of the feedback that we got about the mockups was legitimate, but at the same time, we're there's a lot of platforms that offer like early access type of things where you have to create your own mockups. And with Gemini and Nano Banana now, you can just literally mock up anything by just talking to a prompt, you know? So I think it's not the biggest problem, but we're going to put a lot of content on helping sellers on how to do it outside of our platform. And as we, we're building this thing, but in the meantime, we need to provide something to help them, publish their listings with images, because we understand that it's very important to have an actual photo of what the product is going to look like when the customer gets it. And then next is going to be, the good thing about what we're doing in terms of us directly responding to those tickets that we're getting right now is that, our CTO checks every single ticket himself. And he's like, okay, this is, priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. So it's really great that we're getting that feedback directly. There's no 500 layers of bureaucracy and this department and that department. We're sitting, hunkering down and reading those emails or conversations and talking to those people, getting the feedback directly, integrating it back into the system. And that's how we think we're going to keep it going. However big we're going to get, we want to keep that direct line because we control the operations. So it's so much easier for us to respond and troubleshoot everything. I always say that my dream would be, and which hopefully Q2 of next year before Mother's Day, would be to allow every seller to speak directly with the person working on their order if there's any issue. So if you're on the platform and there's an order that's 1 day behind the SLA, and you should be able to nudge the worker who's assigned to that order, that worker have to respond to you directly and tell you what's going on. And there is no let me submit a ticket and get a response 2 days later. And the customer is yelling at me in the meantime, right? So we're trying to eliminate all of that because it's so much easier when you're on the floor, you're getting a nudge from a customer asking for something and you'll be like, okay, we're out of stock. We're behind. This thing didn't show up. So you're informed immediately about issues. What else in the roadmap? I would say definitely the listings. We're going to create a ton more gift set variations.
Exciting.
But that's very exciting, but it's also very challenging because you got to make sure when you're publishing these hundreds of variations that you have an actually robust supply chain to make sure that these things are always in stock. We don't want to, create something, list it, and then 5 months later, that supplier goes out of business. Yeah. All these sellers have to deal with the nightmare, right? So it's that's why we're being a little bit careful. Obviously Gildan, Bella Canvas, Comfort Colors, Stella Stanley, those are, great companies and they will not go out of business anytime soon. But there are certain other elements that we have to source ourselves and make sure we have enough inventory to cover us for at least 6 months at a time. I would say the most immediate one would be that we're adding the entire Stanley Stella product line.
Cool.
And that I ordered a sample of every single one of their apparel and I was blown away by the quality. So I think back to that, brand building aspect of the business, this is going to be exciting for those sellers who want to push something so cool and high quality. And even though it's more expensive, but some people look for expensive stuff, right?
Yeah. And I think that is such a good point because we've seen print on demand. You've been around the print on demand game or the Etsy game even longer than I have, but we saw Bella Canvas, which is that $8 to $9 range. And then Comfort Colors is kind of in the prime. And then now we're seeing Stella Stanley. That premium element of print on demand is just going to continue pushing upwards. And that's what I'm really excited about in particular for your brand is you can create these really bespoke, beautiful packages that are pretty much unlimited from a creativity standpoint. And I absolutely appreciate you guys not wanting to grow too fast where it's then there ends up being issues with supply chain. And I really appreciate as a seller, you wanting to come to the table with the right experience and the right mockups. But at the same point, I know we talked a little bit about this, your platform is very new. There's going to be a lot of elements that are still work in progress. And there might be some more of that elbow grease from our side as you guys are putting in the elbow grease to just make sure we're utilizing the platform to the best best that we can while everything gets streamlined and like beautifully crisp. But if we have to put in a little bit more effort now to like make the mock-ups ourselves, like let's do that because we have a first mover advantage on some of these great items to like pressure test them in the market.
Yeah, that's where we're trying to put a lot more content. Hopefully by the end of next, I mean, I can't promise now because it's Black Friday next week. But
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're going to be sleeping on the floor making, gift sets and apparel and candles. But I think definitely by mid-December, we'll have so much more content on helping those sellers kind of navigate through all of these different things like Gemini and, how to prompt. And maybe we create like some prepared prompts that you could just, paste in and add your art that you want to create to the mockup just to make it a little bit easy. And I would say realistically, the mockup solution that we want to build, which is like a 3D, I'm going to say this, but it's not, don't hold me to it. But, my vision to it is that we're going to create this 3D mockup element. And I'm working with a friend of mine who's one of the top visual effects guys in Hollywood. And he was like giving me all these little tips on how to, navigate that world. But I'm also a video game guy. So I love that kind of world, like the engines and the graphics. So what we're trying to do is build a mockup generator that you basically get a 3D view of the object that the gift set or mug or whatever it is, a shirt. You add your art to it. And once you add the art to it, it will show on the 3D thing. You can spin it in any angle you like. And then you can take a photo, you can add a background to that angle. So let's say you want to make it look like you're placing it on a table. So you're going to add the a background photo of a table, maybe a kitchen table or whatnot. And then you can zoom in and out of that 3D scene to place it exactly where you want it to be. And then just hit snap or, take a screenshot. And then so it's so cool. We're in the early stages of developing it, but I think eventually it will come to life. I don't want to be.
Now we're holding you to it.
Yeah, but because it's so cool and it's very lightweight because we're building it from scratch. So it's but I think in the age of Gemini and all these generative AI things, we can even hook it up to a Gemini prompt that you don't have to bring a background. You could just say what kind of background you have. Yeah,
great.
So that's all in the works. Realistically, I think Q2 of next year, hopefully Q1. We're working hard.
No, and yeah, Nano Banana just dropped version 3 today. So there's all those exciting tools to play around with. But I know I've expressed this, I'm super excited for what is to come. And I appreciate you kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit on your mindset, how you're thinking about the business. Cause I know a lot of people are also really excited and they want to build big brands. And that's exactly kind of what I'm trying to convey on my channel is print on demand could be something that is quick and is, a little bit more affordable options, but you can also build a really beautiful brand. And that's really kind of what you're allowing people to do, especially with some of the cool things I know you have coming down the pike with branding elements and other pieces. So very exciting stuff.
I mean, we have done that. And I mean, we're a testament to how you could build 3 businesses out of a small Etsy shop. I mean, the reason why my wife started our first business is because she was so, they say behind every successful entrepreneur, a boss who pissed them off, right? It's so my wife was that exact, the textbook example. She hated her job. She wanted something on the side. She started dabbling with these things and it just took off like a rocket. And here we are, 7 years later. It's been amazing. So, and I don't think we have any extra wings than anybody else. If you just put the time and effort into it and you sell a good product, you partner with us to basically offset the warehouse cost and, the equipment and all that stuff. And I always tell my very successful entrepreneurs who sell on our platforms, and we've been with them for years, is, with Lumient, not with Printonic, but I say you're so smart, because I pull my hair every day. I have employees, we have equipment that, goes wrong, and we have a massive amount of risk. But you're sitting on your keyboard designing stuff and making more money than I am. Right.
Wow, talking a big game. But it's so cool. It's so cool that you you both started this business like 7 years ago, and then now you're enabling other people to do it as well, but without all of the overhead. So I know I'm passionate about it. I know you're passionate about it. I know the people that have come here like wanting for more information are really passionate about it. So we're just all really excited. I know you're busy. It's the week before Thanksgiving, so we'll kind of wrap up there. But anything else to tell the people or where they can find you? Any of that information, feel free to jump in with that.
Yeah, so we'd love to get any feedback, support at printonic.com. I've responded to a lot of folks asking what, they have their own niche and they want to have their own type of gift set with certain items. We're always open to feedback. If you feel like, oh, I wish I could mix these 3 items from, the catalog that we have and make them a gift set, feel free to suggest that. I think the feature that will really break the internet is mid next year is going to be you will be able to create your own gift sets from hundreds of items. So, back to that like mock-up thing, it was like, well, we're not going to be able to build a mock-up for you on the fly for that. But if you want to create a gift set out of any combination of products in our catalog, you'll be able to make that your own and allow, unlimited type of customization. You want 20 items, you want 50 items, as long as you're going to pay for them, we don't care. So that I'm the most excited about, because I think that will unlock the creativity to at a different level.
I'm so excited. Yeah, like the creativity is just going to be insane. Everybody's brains are going wild. But thank you so much for coming on. Get back to business, shipping out everything for us as you do. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm really excited for you as well.